Alright, and welcome to, I can't even remember what number this is, I'll have to look it up later, Filament for Chaotic Firestorms. So we go in, and this room is one of the Marshal Rooms, and there are plenty of newts in this thing. For some reason, I never get any kind of luck and have like a newt, maybe two. No, it's like 3 or 4. Here, have 3 or 4 newts with your weapon system that's dependent upon cap. It's like, oh, thank you guys. I did have some speed clouds, which really didn't affect it a whole lot, because it just brought me in range so I could kill the marshals a little bit quicker and not have to worry about the newts quite so much. A lot of times I kind of prefer to stay back a little bit and kill the frigates first and then work on the marshals, because the frigates die really quick. You can outrange the marshals' guns, and by guns I mean missiles. But you know what, this wasn't too bad, so I decided to go in. There wasn't any major blue clouds or anything to worry about. If that was a speed cloud or a blue cloud at the start instead of speed cloud, I'd been like, we're either coasting through. Oh wait, no, it's first round. Wouldn't have been coasting through. We would have been either avoiding it and killing the frigates first, or we would have been hitting that ADC real quick, because these guys get a lot more damage in if you're in a blue cloud. So end up killing the marshals and all the drainers first. My targets on this room is kind of wonky. I like to target frigates, like I said. Like to target newts, like I said. If there were arresters and I'm going in, I'm definitely killing arresters even before newts, because you being slow is kind of like you being in a blue cloud. It's exactly how some of the missile hacks work in tier 5, tier 6 darks. So yeah, no, but I didn't have to this time. It was fine. It was a decent composition. It wasn't anything too big. Went through, I accidentally looted the 50 million on the wrong guy, because this guy has cap boosters, so I have not been looting on him because he's been filling up a little too much. I'm like, this is just a little too much effort. You guys want to see the loot? Feel free to go pop over to the Abyssal Tracker website. No, it won't show you each room, but yes, it will show you the total loot of each room, assuming I don't forget to move the 0-point condensate that is overflowing from my other character onto this guy. So. But for the most part, you'll see the bigger part of the loot. ZPC takes up quite a bit of space. 0-point condensate used for a lot of the trig construction. But yeah, otherwise not too bad. So finishing up the room, there's just a couple little guys left, a couple marker enforcers. They target paint, but it usually isn't enough that it's a huge concern. So they die last, then we grab loot, get everyone on the gate, and go to the next room. Speaking of the next room, it is a Lucid Room. So first thing I noticed in this one, there's only one Fire Watcher and one Sentinel. That's really easy to deal with. I can cap booster through that if I have to. Obviously I don't have to. The Fire Watcher will die pretty quick. And the Sentinel's usually my other fairly big target. So after those are dead, you kind of have a few choices. You can kill the Watchman and the Upholder, which are more damage. If you have any concerns with damage, you can kill the Wardens, which if you have the Upholder and the Wardens dead, less things are likely to target your drones, and if they do, they're probably going to hit them a fair bit less because your drones aren't webbed. Drones are notoriously hard to hit if they're not webbed, especially with guns. So you have a couple ways of going about this. I went with the Upholder, and I had one guy focus on the Watchman, and then I had the other guys focus on getting down the Wardens so that I could bring out my full DPS. I don't think my drones really got bothered a whole lot in this room anyway. Oh, that's another thing. If there's like a medium tower in the room, it makes it a real easy decision that you're probably going to kill the DPS first, because you don't care about your drones getting webbed because you're not leaving them out anyway, right? Again, yeah, there's me jettisoning my loot so my other guy can grab it. Because, yeah, he definitely did not need to be holding that. So we just have a few guys to finish up here. Upholder, Watchman, some frigates. It's really not that difficult of a room. There are, I mean, speed clouds are always a concern for Nergals. Nergals have all of their whopping stinking what, like 3-kilometer range. No, it's better than 3 kilometers at least. Not neutron blasters here, but they don't have a ton of range. So they really, really, really do not like clouds that pop things out 30 kilometers all of a sudden for no reason. Alright, going into the last room. We have us some absolutely beautiful little leshaks. Leshaks are a hit and miss room. In this case, we had all striking and tangling. That's actually a really good thing. The ones I dislike more, obviously. So tangling aren't my favorite, but I'll take them over most of the other ones. I very much dislike starving. They interrupt your DPS. I very much dislike blinding because they will fly to the opposite end of the abyss and just sit there. Sometimes you're lucky and you can send drones after them. This one I was able to have drones out if I brought them out. Yeah, there we go. My drones can be out because there are no drone tracking or no drone damage towers, deviant towers. So it gives me full use of my drones, which is fantastic. But if you have a blinding, fly to the other end of the abyss, and there's either drone towers or there's a speed cloud. Well, if there's a speed cloud, all of your drones suddenly hit that speed cloud, and they go right into the abyss, and they're all dead. Doesn't even matter that they're faction; they're just immediately destroyed. And if it's a drone tower, well, that's a little bit better. At least maybe you can send it out of range of the tower, or if he's in range of the tower, you can, you know, have them in it for a little bit and pull them back, unless he's sitting right on it. Which they're not that intelligent. They don't sit right on them, fortunately, but they can be a little bit of a pain. But yeah, so it's just considerations for this room, which is why tier 6s are a little bit frightening and can be slightly concerning. For these guys, I do like splitting up my damage and ramping up. T5s, you should have enough time that clouds shouldn't really give you a huge issue, but it is something to be aware of. Oh, also, that's the other thing about this room is a lot of time you do have that transit time to head back to the gate. So the last guy left there, we're killing him, we're heading to the biocache, and we're gonna just have to coast along for another minute before we actually get out of this site. It's one of the things that if you have to do it 3 rooms in a row, you're really going to feel it on time. However, if you only have to do it once, it's generally not too bad. I probably could have started moving a little earlier and left my drones on that guy. Again, just considerations, but I also have a lot of time. We do have to wait a moment for my guy to grab the loot, because he's a slacker, and no, because he also had to fly back, right? So once he has that loot and he's on his way, I will check that gate, check that time, and we'll go through. So yeah, we're just a little over 12 minutes there, and we're going through. That's that one.